Marshmallow is a brand new 2025 slasher film directed by, I'm going to try here, Daniel Delpurgatorio. And this is new and has been being compared in the vein to the recent film that came out, Hell of a Summer, directed by Finn Wolfgard, I think his name is. That film was really, really split with people, and this one people are comparing it as either better, which is what I heard a lot about, and from channels that I frequent, they're like, yeah, if I wasn't, Hell of a Summer was meh, but this one is just amazing. And then some people are considering Marshmallow uh, inferior to Hell of a Summer. But it's a slasher horror, and basically what we have going on here is, there's not much to explain. You got kids who start going to the summer camp. The film opens up with this tragedy that happens with this kid's grandfather, and then he's sent to camp. He looks quite young, like he's a teen, I would say, but he looks about 14, but he looks like a very, very young 14-year-old kind of thing, especially in comparison with the other kids, especially the bullier kids who look more like 17-ish. But he's afraid to go to camp and everything. He meets some other people, including this little girl that also looks very similar to him. So they take a really good bond. Really cute girl, and them together look really nice, and they have chemistry a lot, and I like their banter back and forth, and I like how she cares a lot for him throughout the film. So that was really sweet. And you got your camp counselors. They're very typical, and this film does a great job with making this feel Friday the 13th. That it doesn't do it the homage in like a self-aware kind of way necessarily. Like, it does look dark and grim. Like, if I'm going to compare this to a Friday, it really feels like Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. It really feels it feels like an 80s slasher. It doesn't, you can tell it's modern, but it takes that inspiration and heart, and it doesn't just play it like a lot of these slashers do, that these throwbacks to the 80s where it goes kind of goofy style and it's like wink wink kind of thing at the camera. This one makes it feel, it takes the vibe and really brings the vibe alive kind of thing. So the first half of the film is like what I just described, and then the second half is where you start to have a lot of the twists and turns and reveals and stuff like that. And I do have to say that this film does a lot of different things. It turns a lot of things slasher style on their head, and it takes some very brave and very bold risks and decision making. And it really starts to feel different in the second half of the movie than the first one did. And I was really liking the way the first half was going because it was so 80s slasher looking, and it had that vibe, where the second half came along and was good and I still liked it, but it's like, this is going a little bonkers. And I don't mean, and I want to emphasize this, I don't mean bonkers in the sense of like Cabin in the Woods, okay? Nothing like that, if that's what you're thinking. And I don't want to spoil anything because I definitely suggest going to this blind. But if what I'm saying makes you think that there's going to be this huge like Cabin in the Woods thing and everything's just going to go off the charts, it's not. It's not that kind of thing. But like I said, tropes are turned on their heads, and things start to go in once the twists start to happen, the movie starts to definitely take strong turns kind of thing. Very interesting turns, and it's cool to see that movies take risks like this because they will divide audiences. Like I said, I preferred the first half over the second half, but I can give a lot of respect to writers and directors who try something different. And the director that I mentioned at the beginning, that I already forget his name, but he directed, but he didn't write this. It was another guy who wrote this, and them working together put a really neat horror movie out that is, it's gonna have its audience 100%, and it's a really, really great film to discuss because its themes are really interesting. And I'll just leave it at that. And I highly suggest really going into this film blind. Don't really watch too many trailers. I would avoid the trailers because I haven't seen the trailers yet, but I can just imagine that they would be showing too much. Um, but yeah, it's a cool slasher film, and I didn't really like the villain too much, like the way that they dress him up and stuff like that, or them, I should say, whatever. Not that they're a non-binary they them. I just mean I'm not gonna say whether it's a guy or a girl that's behind the mask, but I'm just saying the way the killer looks is it was meh. It was just kind of meh. I found it kind of silly, but other than that, the music is fantastic. The directing's amazing, and yeah, again, I really love that dark real Friday the 13th, not hey, remember the 80s kind of Friday kind of throwbacks that they do a lot. So it's a cool film, and I highly recommend it. Go stream it. I really had fun with it. So yeah, Marshmallow. Go find it somewhere. Subscribe to Market Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.